This is the Extra Point Podcast from Arizona's family.
We got another big weekend of football approaching. How will the Cardinals do heading up to the Great Northwest to take on the Seahawks? Well, we know a guy. Let's talk to the hottest handicapper right now in sports, New York Knicks picks. Nick, how you doing today?
Hey, let me tell you this much, Mark. I'm 17-2 on the season, all documented on TikTok and my Twitter account. If I go 0-3 this weekend, we know whose fault it is, okay? So don't be surprised if Tuesday night you get a knock on your door if you see an 0-3 record from me this weekend, okay?
I'm not going to have like a horse head in the bed, or am I going to be sleeping with the fishes?
No pressure on me. Yeah. All the pressure's on you this weekend, Mark.
Yeah, I'm not picking the games. I'm going to follow your picks. We've been following you for a while. You're red hot right now. What's been kind of the key to your success?
I think you look for the footprints. You look for footprints. You look for clues. I'm a big numbers guy. I like to check out the stats. And you look to see if it tells a story, okay? And for instance, with the Arizona Cardinals right now, they're last in the league in offensive yards per play. We're 5 games into the season. That's no accident, okay? Maybe there's a little noise in the stats. Maybe they're not the worst team offensively in the NFL, but you can't sit here and honestly make the argument that they're a top half offense, okay? Which is shocking to me because last year, I mean, Kyler Murray, they were 4th in the NFL in yards per pass attempt last year. This year, they're last. What happened? It's like they went from living in Midtown to in a nice neighborhood in Murray Hill. They didn't even just move to Alphabet City downtown in a grimy area. They went straight out to Staten Island. I don't know what happened to them. They've lost 2 games with their opponents scored 20 points. Last year, when they started off 7-0, 6 of those games, they scored more than 30. So as an outsider, I'm just a tourist on this show, okay? I'm surprised with just their offensive ineptness so far this year. I thought if they'd lose, they'd be losing 35-31, not 20-12.
So this weekend, they're taking on the offensive juggernaut known as Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks. How do you see this one breaking down?
Say that again, just so you believe it yourself, okay?
Geno Smith, the offensive. Did you ever think that would happen? I thought some Jets fans, they might have taken him on like a boat somewhere.
Listen, not a lot of fond memories of Geno Smith circa 2015, 2017, in the 5 boroughs, okay? You're going to get no love for Geno Smith from here. But listen, that's a great point, though, because we're not handicapping Geno Smith from 2017, just like we're not handicapping Kyler Murray from last year or the year before, or him and Hollywood Brown from their days in Oklahoma. We have to handicap them from now. And Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks, I said Arizona was last in the NFL in yards per play. The Seattle Seahawks are first. And it's no joke because they're first in yards per rush and they're third in yards per pass. That doesn't happen by accident. That's not a one-game fluke. That's not they played a bad defense here or there. You have to take what the numbers are telling you, wipe away your bias, your opinion. And yes, it's shocking. But Seattle Seahawks, they got a heck of an offense. They got a weak defense, though. Maybe this is the get-right week for Kyler, but you have to handicap what you have here. And honestly, the profile of the Arizona Cardinals, that's not a team that you see as a road favorite, especially against a team ranked first in the NFL in yards per play. I'm surprised the Cardinals are favored this week.
Well, they have some sort of magic up there in Seattle, and I don't know what it is because they've won up there with backup quarterbacks.
Maybe that magic was Russell Wilson.
Maybe so. Yeah, he's certainly fallen off. I'd love to hear your numbers on him. But yeah, Russell Wilson, Geno Smith. I mean, how that shakes down. Do you see the Cardinals as the favorite this week? Though, do you see them coming away with the victory and making some wise guys happy there?
Look, I'm on the Seahawks, okay? Like I said, the profile of a team that's a road favorite, Arizona does not match that profile. Last in the league, as I mentioned, in yards per play. That's not a team that you back as a road favorite. There's no guarantee. My crystal ball doesn't work. But what we do is we're just looking for situations that are what's called plus EV, okay? Plus expected value. And fading a team like Arizona on the road as a favorite, that falls into what I look for when I'm handicapping football. So I hate to be the rude guest on your show, the rude intruder. Hey, come on down, New York Nick. Tell us how bad the Cardinals are going to lose. But hey, Look, I'm the biggest fan of Benjamin Franklin, those $100 bills. That's what I'm a fan of. So we'll see how it plays out on Sunday.
Yeah, I think you're right. Until they get DeAndre Hopkins back, there's not going to be a whole lot of offensive help there for Kyler Murray in company. Are you do you look ahead to DeAndre Hopkins and what he can bring to the Cardinals, or are you just a week-to-week guy?
Well. Here's the one thing about DeAndre, and I'm a Nuke Hopkins fan, okay? But last year he had his lowest targets per game, yards per game, and catches per game since 2013. So the idea that he's going to walk in and just magically turn around this offense, I'd love to see it. Cardinals were a fun team to watch last year, okay? I'd love to see that. Let's pump the brakes. Let's see it develop first before I can get on board right away.
So not like a forget about it, but like a maybe forget about it?
I'll see you later kind of look. How about that?
And say hello to your mother for me. Or maybe that's Boston. I can't remember. Okay, so you say Cardinals, Seahawks, go with the Seahawks there. You're feeling good.
Points.
Take the points. Okay, take the points. Go with the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a shootout, or you think this is one of those deals where the pillow fight and whoever's kicker can make a field goal wins?
Well, if you follow Seattle, I like to usually look at the home team as dictating the pace of the game, the type of game we're in, okay? Seattle, high-scoring team. They score a lot. They give up a lot of points. 2 weeks ago against Detroit, 48-45. Last week versus New Orleans, 39-32. So I'm going to follow their lead and say this will probably be more of a high-scoring game.
All right, you heard it here first with New York Knicks picks. All right, what's your other game you're burning on? We got some big ones this week in the NFL. What is your bet your mother-in-law's money, and if you're not going to have to pay up and get your legs broken?
Listen, she's not going to love you anyway, so you might as well bet her money, right? Look, Dallas has been hot, right? Cooper Rush stepped in for Dak Prescott. They've won 4 in a row. But here's the deal, okay? They've given up less than 17 points in all 4 of his victories. It's really the defense that's been leading the turnaround, not really Cooper Rush, okay? This is a different animal they're facing this week. Look, let's think about it. So they faced the Bengals, Joe Burrow, stick figure back there, right? They faced Matthew Stafford, the Rams, stick figure back there, weak offensive lines. Wentz and Daniel Jones, they have some mobility, but nothing like a Jalen Hurts. So that defense, that defensive line, they were able to dictate, okay? And Cooper Rush, he's got no interceptions in 4 games. Why? He's been playing with a lead, okay? Now you're playing the Philadelphia Eagles. Best offensive line in the league, okay? Number 1 passing offense, yards per play, okay? They fall behind. Now they're forced to catch up. It might be a little bit of a different Cooper Rush scenarios. Also, Eagles, number 1 in the NFL, yards per pass attempt, okay? This is not the type of team that you want to catch up against. So I like Philadelphia. I'll bet your mother-in-law's money on it. Also, remember this, okay? The NFL season, it's got its ebbs and flows, right? So it's like a TV series. It's like a drama series, like The Sopranos, okay? A lot of violence, some deals are being made, right? If you look at the Eagles, you had their home opener week 2 against against the Vikings, Monday Night Football, right? Then you go Washington Commanders division game, big game. Then they have the Jaguars, the return of Coach Doug Peterson, the only coach to lead them to a Super Bowl champ. So that was a big-time game to get up for. And then this week, playing the Cowboys Sunday night, a divisional rival, okay? Last week, I think your fans saw a little bit of a sandwich game kind of Eagles team. You know, last week's show wasn't The Sopranos. It was more like Seinfeld. It was a show about nothing. You know what I'm saying? Compared to those other weeks. But the Eagles have been dominant all year. They've led every game at some point in the game. They've led by 14 or more in every game this season. Think about that, okay? They were down 14-0 to the Jaguars. All of a sudden, it was 29-14 Eagles. I think this is, along with Buffalo, the best team in the NFL. And to me, the subway ride that Cooper Rush is on, well, next stop is Loserville. It's your turn to get off, Cooper.
So he's going to Satriali's Deli is what you're telling me.
Yeah. I like the Eagles this week.
All right, what else you got underneath that hat there in New York?
I got a college game for your folks, okay?
All right, what do you got?
The last week I was all over Texas versus Oklahoma. That was a winner, okay?
Hold on 1 second. I just want you to see this. Thank you.
Nice,
That was
nice.
a beautiful
Hook 'em,
one.
baby.
Yeah.
Hook
My
'em.
Longhorn.
Vinny, hook me. Now you're hooked, okay? This week it's Texas Christian versus Oklahoma State. It's like I'm living in a parallel universe, okay? But look, TCU. Look, when we're handicapping college games, it's a little different because you got all these out-of-conference action and FCS teams and so on and so forth. But if you look at the schedules of TCU and Oklahoma State, they're 4 FBS games, okay? They both played an out-of-conference non-Power 5 team. TCU played SMU, and Oklahoma State played Central Michigan. So similar type of competition level, right? Then they both played an out-of-conference Power 5 team. And in fact, both from the Pac-12. TCU played Colorado, who's awful, and Oklahoma State played ASU, who's not awful, right?
Forget about it. Yeah.
Okay, so now they both play 2 conference games each. TCU versus Oklahoma, and this week at a pretty good Kansas team, and then Oklahoma State played at Baylor, and this week at Texas Tech. But if you look at those 4 FBS games, okay, and look at the stats just from those 4 games, TCU, number 1 in the nation in offensive yards per play, okay? Oklahoma State, out of 66 FBS Power 5 teams, 45th, okay? And just for context, ASU, they're 35th, okay? So they're 10 spots behind ASU as far as offensive yards per play in FBS games. How about this? Explosive plays. 50 or more yards, okay? Big plays, going to get you a score, or at least in the red zone or in field goal range with a 50-plus yard play. In those 4 games, TCU, 8 50-plus plays, okay? Alabama, for context, in 6 FBS games, only 7. Guess how many Oklahoma State has? The same amount as me and you. 0. Skadoosh, okay? So I'm looking at the explosive team at home. You're laying a short number. I like the horned lizards. They're actually lizards. They're not frogs. I like them this Saturday in college football.
So you're saying light that up in your cigar and smoke it. You like the horned frogs.
I love them.
Would you? I mean, it sounds like you like the horned frogs maybe against like an Alabama down the line. Would that be? Are they that good?
Look, they have some weapons. They got Quentin Johnson, the wide receiver, 6'4". He had 14 catches for 200 yards last week. Then they have another wide receiver, Savion Williams, 6'5" guy. So they got the big guys. Then they got a couple of quick slot guys. Kendre Miller is a great running back. Max Duggan's in his 4th year. Maybe it's his 5th year at this point.
Yeah, he's been there since I think the mid-2000s for sure.
Yeah. And look, if Oklahoma State falls behind, Spencer Sanders, their quarterback, he's a little volatile, okay? He's got 42 turnovers in 37 career games, okay? So the number 1 stat, the indicator for wins and losses in football is turnovers. So you're more apt to commit turnovers when you're playing from behind. So I like TCU this week. I'm not ready to crown them over Alabama just yet. I want to see that defense stiffen up a little bit. But hey, let's tackle this week first.
All right.
Remember Tuesday night, Mark. Remember.
Yeah. No, for sure. We got to. We got to keep that always in our memory, and we also got to follow you. I don't know. Do you have enough social media spots where we can follow you? Like where can we find you?
Find me there. Find me everywhere.
What are you making more picks?
Find me on the corner of 5th and 23rd, okay?
And we can find you. So are you going to roll out some more picks for us this weekend? What else? Come Friday, come Saturday, when can we find the rest of your picks?
Yeah, we got the college game, we have the Sunday game, and then we'll have a Monday Night Football game on Monday. So lots of fun, lots of opportunities to enjoy and entertain. And listen, like I said, we're 17-2, so we'll know where this train fell off the tracks. Okay, probably at the Bed-Stuy train station, but a lot of pressure on you this week, Mark.
Hey, that's you know what I like pressure. You know, pressure busts pipes, pressure makes diamonds. I'll probably wilt and fall away. But if you would come back here and be gracious enough not to beat me up next week, we'd love to have you on again.
No doubt. Listen, when in doubt, wherever you go, what you do, when in doubt, take those points, Mark. Take them.
The Extra Point Podcast, a production of 3TV, CBS 5, and azfamily.com in Phoenix, Arizona.